I want to share one of my teachings and to add the quotes and sayings that I'm adding on my socials. Those are 98% or 99% even. Those are my own thoughts and those are my own quotes. These are my own core teachings. And this is one of them. I want to share it. Identifying as whatever one feels like is not freedom, it is a lie. That way, criminals can identify out of their crime. That way, those in need could identify out of their terrible situation. If a freedom is a lie, then democracy has meant nothing tangible for all these years. And I want to also add the justice shall prevail one day, and all the leeches shall fall, and eat the crumbs as a lesson for trying to dim the light of the truth and healing, portraying their lies as a core healing mechanism, destroying people's lives and perceptions of the truths that are necessary to exist within law. Do not submit to brainwashing because it's easy. Harder way is living the truth. And the way many live is not authenticity but skewed reality of comfort that is comfortable only because we as humans get attached to pain. And as a result, we don't want changes to see the truth and actual core of authenticity. Therefore, we stay in false narrative that seems like freedom, but it is a lie. And to add also, I know that I might have, like, we all seek levels of validation. And I'll be honest with you, I get basically 0 to 1%, 2% of it. I usually validate my own self. I'll be true with you here. And I don't have plenty of people as followers. I have very little following. Um, and it can be very hard sometimes to live as I live with my type of background and to have this little validation. But as you can see, I'm standing strong. I'm standing true in my power and in my voice. And you can do so too. You don't need validation of other people to stand in your truth. They can speak whatever shit they want to. You can still remain authentic and to your core. If you see the core, if you feel the core, if you have evolved into higher being, then you shall remain so. Then you shall remain so. Watch what you are speaking, what you are doing, what are your actions. Don't watch what they're doing. They can remain low vibrational however they want to. Have you ascended? Then keep that place. Honestly, you've earned that throne. You've earned it. To whomever has ascended, you earned it. Not because you're egoic, not because you want to be a boss, but because you literally earned it. You grew your soul. You really went through all these difficulties, through this shadow work. You felt your core. You understand what that is. You understand what your soul is, your energy is. You don't just parade under some type of fake ass spirituality. And there are these people. There are fake ass spiritual people. They're just parading because it's some type of freedom or it's cool, but they don't understand that it's really hard work to get there. They don't see it because they don't see it. Why? Because they are not actually spiritual. They just see the physical reality and materialistic ego. You know? And that's the truth. That's the truth. Those hard truths that there are very few of us. It's a rare gift to feel the core and to truly see beyond the ego and to truly channel these things. And there can be plenty salty people that don't want you to do that because they can't. Because some, no matter how hard they try, they can't. Be aware of these people because they live in that low ass mentality. First of all, that they can't. And they put victimhood above their spiritual meaning. Be careful of these because they really might spread negative energy onto you. They really might. First of all, you gotta protect yourself in your heart. You really have to. Even though it might seem like, oh, you want to empathically help everyone, you gotta set these boundaries because that's smart. Because that's on this earth. You're in 3D realm still, too. You have to account this for reals. You have to balance these two things. You have to account for that heart centered thing can be the reality that leads you to the truth. But you have to fight for it. You have to literally stand strong on your own, no matter what others say. Keep that light within because others really might try to dim it. And it's a continuous fight. Because if they say that anything at all is real and there is no consensus of a truth and everyone can be true and anyone can identify as whatever they want to, then trust me, honey, they will try to overthrow you with this consensus, knowing well the truth doesn't exist, but they still try to throw you out of a place, a workplace, a friend place, whatever, due to your authenticity. It's a winning type of mechanism because they're in their ego. What do you do when they are like this? You stand up. You stand up and you fight. You stand tall and you stand strong. Because, honestly, some of you guys are going through spiritual war. Those higher ascended energies, I'm speaking to those who identify as light workers, higher workers now. You know who you are. You're going through spiritual war because you have ascended above these individuals energetically. Don't listen to their lies. Feel your inner core. Feel your inner truth above fear. Feel above fear. Because you know the truth, and that truth is a freedom and not the false narrative. And personally, I want to add that I am only interested in people who truly want to grow within, surpassing the lies that have been fed them by false narrative, to remain and keep friends and connections that are built on lies, to see the distinction between the truth and comedic purpose, to see beyond the layers and wish to ascend above them, remaining grounded to the truth, and not see pride right in front of their eyes, but aim to balance out their realities of 3D ego and the way their psyche computes along with metaphysical reality, not the skewed perceptions of it, not the skewed ideal realities that are a fake consensus of comfortable, where there is no comfort. It's just copium, pure coping mechanism, and some people live in this pure coping mechanism by such a high percentage in themselves that they cannot surpass it on their own. They're so in their ego that they get so triggered whenever you speak of this truth. They think everything can be the truth, which is false. Even in 3D material realm, and even more so in that realm, if we don't see, oh, so sure, if plenty of people don't see or don't sense the universe consensus or stuff like that, they have difficulty in it, fine. Look at the 3D material realm. We need laws, right? We need laws. We need that type of discipline. We need that type of control. Because if we don't have them, then anyone will think they are true and anyone will think they have the truth. And plenty of people are so egoic they might think that they have ascended, but they have not. They just put the label on it and they think they can figure out things that way. They can just go through it however they want to, but they cannot. They're going to get karma. However, you guys, we need to fight for this good energy. We need to fight for the truth, the light, to enlighten these beings because the world is getting into a dark place. We need to fight for this light. We need to literally fight these leeches with our energy. We need to remain strong. Don't feel low in yourself. Your truth. Perhaps if you really feel your core, if you really feel your truth, that it is the truth. If you're not one of those dumbass leeches who think that truth is everywhere, this is absolutely manipulative. Never believe such people. Don't. Because we need, in law, in justice system, to be able to determine what is integrity and what is not. We need, and we have the darkness and light. Never forget it. There is the darkness and there is the light, and there are those that hide in the light. They're actually terrible people, and there are those that are in the dark and that are actually good people. There are very different types of energies, but only through working and seeing beyond and above your fears and above all this stuff into your core can you actually determine these realities, and that you can see them. And it can be a very painful watch for the first time if you've been very conditioned into this materialistic physical reality. And actually transitioning physically is being conditioned to materialistic reality, because you want to so heavily skew that perspective. We can have plenty past lives. We might have been men, women in these past lives. But going as so far to actually not only go with your own self, but portray this by skewing boundaries onto children's perspectives, these innocent souls that are just playing around, and putting them into a falsehood of human psyche's adult realities according to actual agendas is immoral, is incorrect. I don't care whether you're light side or dark side, it's immoral, it's incorrect. Don't touch these children, leave these children alone. There are no trans kids. Leave them out of this, leave them alone. It's so creepy how the narrative has been skewed in the perception of reality again, because people cannot handle this woo woo. They become so weird. They cannot handle these boundaries. They are starting to be more impulsive, not reading through things, applying pride, applying their prideful sense however they want to, however they feel is best for their individualistic selves, and calling it freedom, but it's not freedom. While you put these layers, that is a boxed layer, and law is a boxed layer too, and it's not freedom anyways when you force something like this onto children. And you do force it onto children because children are susceptible psychological sponges, and they literally will portray whatever you show them in plenty of cases of it, in most if not all. Leave children out of this, leave them alone. Don't put them even close to these adult narratives. Let them grow up with a healthy psyche. Watch what they are watching. Watch over them. You need to be like a guardian angel for your children, not somebody who puts them into these adulthood narratives. You're nothing more than a freak if you do so. You're nothing more than a freak, and you don't deserve your children. You don't deserve them. You don't deserve to teach them. You don't deserve to have them. Because you are extremely egotistic and you are sickening in your mind.